169 Mountain Man Survival Tricks. Learn real survival from some of the baddest men to ever walk the earth. Mountain men. Mountain men like Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, Kit Carson, Jedediah Smith, Jim Baker, Tom Fitzpatrick, Bill Williams, Hugh Glass, Samuel Houston, Joseph K. Meek, James O'Patty, Samuel Hearn, Alexander Mackenzie, Jim Beckworth, Jim Bridger, Moses Harris, John Coulter, Osborne Russell, Jean P. Charbonneau. Here's an 8-minute video for my ebook, 169 Mountain Man Survival Tricks, that you can find at www.survivalexpertebooks.com. That's www.survivalexpertebooks.com. Let's listen to that video right now. This is Joseph again. This is 169 Mountain Man Survival Tricks. Okay, this ebook is about the survival tricks used by some of the baddest men to ever walk the earth, mountain men. Let me go to the table of contents. This is going to be another hard one to do because there's so many of them. I don't want to talk your ear off and keep you here for 45 minutes, just 2, 3, 4 minutes max. Okay, let me go. Here's the table of contents. Let me start scrolling down here. Excuse me. Okay. Start off with the Lewis and Clark expedition because those guys in their own right were mountain men. They went out in the wilderness. Sacagawea wasn't, in my humble opinion, if it wasn't for Sacagawea, I don't think the expedition would have lasted because they went up against more than a few Indian tribes, and when they saw Sacagawea as a woman, they know they weren't a war party, you know. Plus, she helped them out a great deal on a lot of things there. You know, let me see here. I'm trying to find something here for you. A lot of the mountain men used bear grease, bear fat, animal fat for a lot of things, you know. And you'll read those in the book. Everything from cooking to first aid. Okay. Salt collecting, very important, very very easy to do, but hard to do. A lot of work, but they needed that salt. I talked about the art of suffering, and in a lot of my books I talk about the art of suffering because it keeps you from being overwhelmed by the elements out there when you're out in the woods. Okay, let me give you an example. You can have two people two twins born the same, and they go out in the wilderness in a harsh environment. One has got the art of suffering and the other one doesn't. Guess who's going to last? The guy with the art of suffering. Okay, and it doesn't happen over like I said. It's like being weathered. A lot of hunters, they got a little bit of it. A lot of special op guys, you know, that are out there in the woods all the bloody time and get crapped on by the weather over the years. Those guys know about the art of suffering. After a while, it's nothing. Who gives a rat's ass? I talk about Kit Carson. Kit Carson was not only a badass being a mountain man, but he was extremely intelligent. Okay, and he learned his stuff starting from the get-go from the Indians. Let me see here. Fire starting, sparking rocks, bark shelter, deer hunting, salt gathering, critter sounds, pine needle bedding, real survivors. Here's Jim Beckwith. A lot of people heard about him. There's mountain men here most people haven't heard of. Buffalo chips, great fuel. Buffalo chips. You've heard of cow chips? Well, there's buffalo chips. I talk about those. Don't put out a heck of a lot of light, but they put out plenty of heat. Let me see here. Long range shooting. One of my favorite subjects, shooting. Here's a story about mountain men. Bears are coming, every man for himself. I thought this was very funny because here these mountain men were the baddest men to walk the earth, and here comes a bear, and it was everybody for themselves. And I'll tell you the end result of that one. Anyway, mountain man camp, bear fighting, hypothermia remedy, another hypothermia remedy, cowhide victuals, cougar fighting, fallen tree shelter, Bowie knife, I tell you, the true, really, people buy Bowie knives, but they're not true Bowie knives. I'll tell you the about a true Bowie knife if you're going to buy one. So when you go in these pawn shops and the guy says it's a Bowie knife or whatever, read this and you're going to find it's not a true Bowie knife. Fishing rods, cane break food, creek Indians, creek waste not want not, creek war, mountain man cooking, good stuff there. Wilderness cooking, Walker expedition. Talk about the Walker expedition down there. Jedediah Smith, bad dude. Okay, winter shelter, sparking trees, emergency surgery, crow anti-hyperthermia. I tell you why these badass crow. Not only did they learn the art of suffering from the get-go, from when they were children, but they had other techniques they used to keep from freezing to death. Okay, and even the mountain men were trying to. These badass mountain men were wondering how in the heck can they withstand these cold temperatures like they do, and I'll tell you how they do it. Mother of all winters. Indian fighter, snow shelter, sagebrush tea, Baker emergency shelter, sarvis berries, bear kills spot, long range shooting again. There's Mountain Man Tom Fitzpatrick, another bad dude. Surrounded by wild dogs, and that's a true story. I'll tell you what, this happened to one of the cadre I work with. He was surrounded by wild dogs. I'll tell you what he did. And the same thing applies to when you go out in the woods and you come up against a wolf pack or a coyote pack. Okay? I'll tell you what he did to save his butt. Okay, standing up to a bear underground hide site, pronghorn ambush, torchlight hunting, bald eagle victuals. Like I say, when it comes down to it, if your life's on the line, you can throw them rules out the window. This is what they did back then, how to capture bald eagles, and these bald eagles were bad, you know, as far as pecking the crap out of you. But I'll show you how Indian trick, how they did it. Rattlesnake Repeller, Mountain Man, Bill Williams. There's another one. Talk about the U.S. Army Special Force, how it relates in their tricks. Williams Death March, Mountain Man Hugh Glass is another one most people don't know about. Mountain Man James O'Patty. Here's another one, Mountain Man Samuel Hearns, another guy most people haven't heard of. And there's his survival tricks under there. Mountain Man Alexander McKenzie. Okay. Here's another world-class type guy out in Nowlin. I talk about his survival tricks. Yeah, let me see here. Sage's ant food. Sage's hide boat, Sage's and the Munchie Indians, Mormon survival tricks. I added those in there. Okay, so you can see what you're getting. This is great survival from the baddest men to ever walk the earth. Okay, and let me go back to this one. Okay, from the baddest men to ever walk the earth. These a lot of my stuff is based on what I call the real survivors. I don't put something up there and claim that I invented it or I came up with it. Now, a lot of this stuff came from way back when. Native American Indians, Bushmen, tribesmen throughout history, and in this case, mountain men. Now, the mountain men, they weren't born with this. They learned this from somebody, and it was Native American Indians and the critters around them and other mountain men that they just happened to come in contact with, and even pioneers. Okay, that's it for 169 Mountain Man survival tricks, and hope you like this one. Go ahead and go on to the next video. Thank you for watching. Again, this ebook can be found at www.survivalexpertebooks.com. www.survivalexpertebooks.com. Thank you for watching this video.